everyone. Welcome. I'll probably just wait a minute to see if we can get a couple more people in here if there's anyone going to be late. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Today's webinar is Beyond Asia, Brazil's legacy as the first tea origin in the West. Which I don't know about any of you guys, but I know very little about Brazilian tea, so I'm super excited for this. My name's Alicia Gentili. I am stepping in for Bernadine today for the webinar. I have very big shoes to fill. She's amazing, so hopefully I can do her some justice. Yeah, usually when we think about tea origin countries, we think China, Japan, but Brazil's been doing this for a very long time, apparently since the 1800s. So I'm super excited to be here, joined with Brazilian tea specialist Renata Acacia. So she is a specialist as well as an esteemed member of the European Specialty Tea Association. She has been instrumental in connecting people worldwide through the program Rota do Chá, which is a tea tourism initiative that has brought over 500 people to Brazil. So I'm excited to see about her experience with that and also how you can participate in that because going to Brazil would be amazing. Over the next hour, Renata is going to take us on this amazing journey through Brazil. We're going to be exploring three producer families from São Paulo, the Amaya, Shimada, and Yamamaru families. Yeah, so it's really special that we're going to be able to hear about the producers firsthand that pioneer the tea in Brazil. So for the next 30 to 40 minutes, she's going to take us on this amazing journey. And then please, if you have questions, you can post them in the question box in the bottom and I'll go over them at the end. We'll have about 20 minutes for that. I know I have a million questions, but you're probably going to be a little tired of my voice. So I want to hear from everybody, all your questions. It's such an amazing opportunity to be able to engage. So let's take advantage of it for sure. And yeah, Hanada, ESTA loves to start all of our webinars with a very important question, but what does specialty tea mean to you?
Oh my gosh, let's go. Let's go. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you. I think you are the perfect person for today. So, of course, I've been training about it, like I say to you. And for me, when I saw the videos from Bernadine, of course, I heard the people answering, and oh my gosh, what is for me? And for me, I think specialty goes beyond like the title of our presentation today, but beyond sensory notes and technical aspects. Of course, I fully agree with the term when you're talking about whole leaf, orthodox methods, and careful processing and quality standards. I know this is amazing. This is one thing, but for me, when I think about the specialty also has to do with the origin with people and with the intention behind the product, like the Amaya family, for example, where consistency, resilience, and care part of every harvest. So, and at the same time, I believe it's important to recognize that sometimes even so-called a common tea, like we are saying before the webinar, can be special when it carries a meaningful story and heritage or cultural value because it's part of this. So specialty for me, it's about technique, yes, but it's also about people and the way their history infuses into our cup, So I think this is my answer. Thank you.
I love that. That is so beautiful. I also think, it's really important to acknowledge that it doesn't have to be like this like orthodox, like amazing thing to be still special. You're right. It's about the history, it's about who's producing it. So very, very well said.
Thank you.
So yeah, if you want to take us through your journey, I think we're ready, we're excited, and I'm gonna turn my camera off, but I'll still be here if you need anything. And yeah, we can't thank you enough. Super excited. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's do it. So let me share my screen and ta-da. So, good afternoon, everyone. Good evening. some way and good afternoon from Brazil, because I know there is a lot of persons from Brazil. Thank you so much. I'm very happy to be with you all today. And what I want to share with you all is a story of connection, actually, between East and West. And of course, so through tea. And maybe, like many people here, I never imagined that tea would become the thread connection every part of my life. So let's start beyond Asia, Brazil's legacy, the first tea origin in the West. I put here just a little timeline from me. I was raised in the heart of the country coffee and Minas Gerais, who's like coffee here, actually probably knows. Graduated international trade, working over 10 years in that field, and always, always passionate about culture, about connection, and a lot of movement. So at one point, I was searching for balance and I found tea. And that's when a turning point came, when I met the Amaya family. This is my first picture, my first photo with the family. This is me 10 years ago, my grandfather, my husband, some Amaya family, and Milton, Makoto, André, who is who collaborate about the in Amaya. So this was my turning point, because I used to think when I would have to travel across the world to see a tea plantation. When I made the tea sommelier, tea blender, you see in the books, and oh my gosh, I need to travel to China, to Japan, to India. That's not a problem, of course, but I never imagined it, that I can live this in my own country. So when I knew it, when I know this has changed everything, and I asking to myself, how, you know, how does no one know about this, and how nobody is talking about this, because it's not oh no, yesterday they start to plant camellia sinensis and everything. No, we have history, we have success, we have families, we have a lot of generations, and that's why I'm here today. That's why my work exists. And today, 10 years later, I'm co-writing my second book on tea with a lovely woman, mentoring women, entrepreneurs and coffee shops and everything, and the tea road. So I love a phrase from Lu Yu's book. Let me read. I put here some here. For its effect as a drink, tea is ideal for those who are sensitive, simple, and virtuous. So maybe, just maybe, that's why whenever tea arrives somewhere new, it carries not only flavor for me, but also culture and meaning. So I think that's exactly what happened in Brazil. And I will try to share with you today. Okay. So just to context a little before begin, in Brazil, when we say tea, that usually means another thing, an infusion, flower, herbs, or even yerba mate. It is not always camellia sinensis. We drink tea and infusion when we are sick or we need to warm and everything. But these days, Brazil is discovering tea in a new way. The consumption grew 25% from 2013 and 2020, almost double the global average. And almost half of Brazilians buy organic food. So tea, of course, fits perfectly into this trend. But we need to back in time, because to understand the present, we need to see where it all started. And all started in 1812 in Rio de Janeiro, the Jardim Botânico do Rio de Janeiro, the Botanical Garden of Rio de Janeiro. When Brazil was still a Portuguese colony, seeds were brought from Macau, China, to the Botanical Garden Rio de Janeiro under the orders from Dom João VI. And together bring the 25 Chinese workers to guide the cultivation. And just 2 years later, another 300 of Chinese workers arrived to expand this project. The idea was clear. It's just to explore the European market, especially England, where tea was already the second most consumed drink after water. So this project was led by Frei Leandro. Frei Leandro was a Brazilian scientist, botanist, and priest. This is a photo from Rio de Janeiro Botanical Garden. And this is a not a photo, of course, because in that time we don't have cameras and everything. This is a picture, a draw actually, of the Chinese workers. And this is Frei Leandro. Why he's so important to our history? Because he published in 1825 a treatise about the tea cultivation in the tropics. But sadly, he died 4 years later. So the project stopped. Some of those old trees still alive today. So if you go to Rio de Janeiro, you can visit the Rio de Janeiro Botanic Garden and see the Camellia sinensis there. And of course, you can see this document too. And while Brazil paused, other countries moved ahead, like Açores in Portugal, Assam, Darjeeling, India, Sri Lanka, and Kenya. And then came a second wave. But this time, the second wave came from Japan. In 1908, one ship with the name Kasato Maru, that is a very, very, very important ship for our history with Japan, brought the first Japanese families to Brazil. It's all about 781 immigrants and 165 families. So just like to curiosity, Brazil is home to the largest population of people of Japanese descent outside Japan. In 2022, we had about 2 million people of Japanese origin. So we have a lot of history together. In 1913, some families settled in Registro, São Paulo. That's where our history is circled today and began the experiments with tea. So this is another person who is very, very important because by the time we only had Camellia sinensis, of course, because the seeds is brought from Macau, China. But in 1935, this man, this engineer, the tea engineer, who named Torazo Okamoto, start a new kettle because a new chapter because who was a trained tea engineer, and he introduced Asanica seeds, which had brought from Sri Lanka during a trip back from Japan to Brazil. And this time, this variety adapted perfectly to our hot, of course, and humid climate. It's very different from Camellia sinensis. And from that moment, tea in Brazil entered and how we call in a golden era. It's around the 50s and 80s. We have the 6,000 of hectares, 1,500 of producers and 42 factories. And this is very strong. This is huge because 90% of our production of black tea, of course, only black tea, was exported, mainly to the USA, Germany, and Netherlands. But then came the 90s, and the 90s was when everything collapsed, decreases. Factories closed one by one, all of this. And the families, some families go to Japan, back to Japan with their culture and everything. You didn't heard about tea, but only one survived. And of course, this family was Amaya. So I like these two photos because this is the very same spot. This is from Amaya in 1951, and this is in me 10 years later. The Amaya never stopped to producing, actually. Was a promise from Hyogo Amaya. I'm sorry, this is very emotional for me, but was a promise to his family. So he promised that never stop it, the tea culture. So here we are again. And not only Amaya, but with the help from Amayas, we have two another families. It's very important here, Shimada and Yamamaru. And 2014, Shimada restarted their artisanal production. And 2017, the Yamamaru reintroduced the agroforestry. And of course, I will speak in a little bit more in a few minutes. So that's where the story of resilience not begins but continued. The families who never gave up, they carry the legacy actually of the Brazilian tea. And there is another important person in this story, that is Tomio Makiushi. Let's meet them. We started with Amaya, and I love to starting with Amaya because when I first integrated the tea world, I have to confess to you all, I carried a strong prejudice against industry in general. I used to think that if tea wasn't whole leaf, orthodox, and special, then it had no history, no value, and maybe not even quality. And meeting Amaya completely changed my perspective. Of course, we have the very quality in the special, and you can find quality in the common tea, you know. And this four guys, not guys, the four men here. This is Hyogo Amaya, the tea masters, and Makoto, his, and then Milton, and you have Lincoln. They are cousins, brothers and cousins. And Amaya Shots is the only large-scale tea factory still active in registro today. And under the third generation, Amaya is still a family run with the capacity to produce 1,200 tons per year. Of course, with decreases, they not action using to produce like this, but they can. And this is very beautiful because you can see, I forgot that it was more photos. Of course, this photo is from our tea tour, our tea route, and this is the Camellia sinensis leaves drying. So the history is very, very long because they are from a supplier from Lipton iced tea from 20 years. And today they're preserving 60% of the Atlantic forest in their land. I love they have a lot of proud of this photo of this magazine. You can see Produce of Brazil and Amaya when Pepsi met Lipton. This is Hyogo with the book tea here. And this is very beautiful because they always care about the nature, about the people they work with them. There is, that really changed my point of view. This is some photos from Amaya too. This is a machine that imported from Argentina. They still use it today, but they needed to adapt it because, well, you will see in the another photos, but it's very different from Argentina. It's very short and everything, and you need to adapt it. And there is another thing that's very important to say to you. This is a two products from his portfolios. It's a black, green, oolong tea, a powered green tea, and blends. Okay. And Hyogo, a tea master, make the he's awesome. He has received a prize from the Kiyoshi Yamamoto for adapting the green tea process. He reduced the processing time from 4 hours to just 40 minutes. while actually improving the quality. So the result, it's a green tea perfect for brewing in a hot or even in a cold water. Okay, so this is an innovation. This is incredible, and I actually love this green tea. I want to share to you a little video just so you can see just a little bit from Amaya's. Okay, this video is from our tea route, but I think that it's good to take it. It is not so good. This is a tea garden, one off. This is our tea ceremony. This is inside of the factory. This is Hyogo. You can tasting directly of the tea master. This is amazing. We have, of course, some competitions, some workshops with Yuri Hayashi from the tea school. This is another tea garden. This is amazing. I'm sorry, I love it. And this, I want to show to you this. This is just to back here. This is the first plants when Torazo Kamoto brought from Sri Lanka. This is the first Camellia sinensis assamica that we have. And this is today. This is beautiful. For me, this is beautiful. And of course, in our tea route, you can visit them. So let me back to the presentation. Here. The next is Shimada. I love both. And I want to share with you a little history from Shimada, actually, because when I was in the Maya, visiting the factory and everything, in the first photo that you see it, we are saying goodbye to each other and everything, and Milton Amaya said to me, no, don't leave it yet. I want to show you something. So, okay, why not? Why not? I'm here in a factory, in a tea garden. I'm in Brazil. There is no problem. You can bring me and everything and everywhere that you want. So we go to our cars and I follow him. And when you arrive in a farm with a white gate, no, there is no words and everything, just white gate. So when this open, these two, this is Ume Shimada and this is Terezinha Shimada, her daughter. So I saw and I said, oh my gosh, they are lovely and everything, and they are from Japan, and and we sit in this table. And of course, I remember today, I'm here, my grandfather here, my husband here, Milton Amaya in this side, and Ume Shimada in front of me, and Terezinha here, and a teapot. And when she put the hot water, oh my God, the smell like a black tea and Assam black tea, very, very particularly. And oh, this is good. And we are talking about and everything. And when she served it and I try it, it's whoa, this is a very good black tea. What is this? And with honey tastes and everything. And I asked to Umi, no, I asked it to Terezinha and I say, where did this tea come from? And she said to me, no, this is our. I'm sorry, this is from here. Yeah, we have just a tea garden here. And I looked to Milton and said, what? We have another producers here. We have another tea garden here in Brazil. And when I saw this is a whole leaf, this is orthodox tea, and I said, whoa, this is, and I go to the bathroom to cry and go back. So we are here today. So these two, they are very, very special for me, and it put me nervous. So Umeshimada preserved the family tea knowledge because he was supplier to Amaya with the tea leaves, and when I need in the crisis time, Ume refused to cut her tea bushes. This is a very strong history. And the year 2014, at 87 years old, she started producing with the brand of Obachan, which means grandma's tea, chá da vovó in Portuguese. So this is amazing. The factory actually works with old machines that had been abandoned but were completely restarted by Tomio Makiushi, you know. And now the tea, the brand, is under the care of her daughter, Terezinha, who is the tea master. This is another photos from Shimada. This is Ume Shimada, I think 2 years ago, before we moved to Spain. This is my son, Caetano. I love this place. I love this place. And they have 6 hectares, only 500 kilograms per year. And they have the certified of the organic from Brazil. And of course, our Mata Atlântica terroir. And I think I put here a silver medal, okay, in Brazilian tea context from Escola de Chá em Baú, our tea school, one of our tea school. And the portfolio is very special because they have white tea, like silver needle style. They have green tea, great green tea, one of my favorites, black tea, and I smoked black tea, like Lapsang Souchong style. And of course, every year they made like golden, yellow, trying to pour, but it's not officially, you know. And of course, I will show to you a little video about it. No, sorry. It's here. To this day, this is the gate that is not only white anymore. You can read. Sítio Shimada. This is Terezinha with our inviters from Tiro. This is their home when she explained a little bit about the tea garden and how to cut and how to process and everything. It's very beautiful. And we have a lot of these lychees in the way. And this is the tea garden, as you can see better in the video. This is very beautiful. It's very different from Namaya. That's I love, because you can visit a lot of a very different perspectives. This is the factory, and she explains everything. She was made in the black tea, and everyone is like hugging me and crying because when we visit the Shimada, it's always the last day of our tea route. So everyone is like, oh no, this is the last day. And me, you know, it's very, very sad, but very happy, but very sad. So this is another photo. This is me when I met them in 2015. Of course, I think 2 weeks later, I was there to produce and everything. It's incredible. And goes to Sítio Yamamaru. I love them too. This is Miriam Yamamaru and Kazutoshi Yamamaru. They are brothers, and she's the tea master, and Kazu managed the cultivation and process, you know. And they have some, it's a thing that is unique, the agroforestry system. And I told you why and how it happens, because in the crisis, of course, they abandoned everything, and they have the capacity. Let me see if I have this information here. The capacity of produce, it's like 2,000 tons of fresh leaves per day. It's a lot of things, you know. and think that this was abandoned. And 2011, there was a turning point for this family when the family recovered just part of their land, but the native forest has already grown back, and it could not longer be cut. Of course, it had to be preserved, and that's when the agroforest project became the part and the path forward. So this is amazing. This is incredible. And you can see, oh, of course, the portfolio. I'm sorry, I was forgetting. The portfolio is a green tea, and very unique and special green tea, and a black tea. Oh, the black tea has another history here. Another photos you can see in this photo here. We have in the middle of the forest, this is we always was received by music. This is Miriam, this is one of his project. This is the black tea. And this is amazing because the history of the tea actually begins when Miriam goes to Japan to study. And back in 2017, and start to produce her own tea in Brazil. Of course, everything was adapted, but she's amazing. She's amazing. And these teas one make in two ways. Okay, they are orthodox, of course. When we speak about the green tea, it's 100%. But when we speak about the black tea is finished with the machinery. So this then came a new milestone. And this, I'm trying to share with you the how this is huge. This is a new factory. We have a new factory. So we had the symbolic inauguration from the new Yamamaru's artisanal black tea factory during the Rota do Chá, the tea route, last year. And of course, this only can be happening because Tomio Makiushi, they are always collaborate. And this is he. This is Tomio Makiushi. He's an engineer, an educator, and a true mentor, actually. He had his own mini black tea factory at home, this one in this photo, to teach about tea, to teach children. He works a lot with children, and of course to process his own tea. This is amazing. For me, this is amazing. And he is the engineer responsible for the Shimada factory and also played a key role in Yamamaru's factory. He was even given an honorary title by the family. This is very beautiful. You need to go there. And for me, Tomio represents perseverance, resilience, humility, and teamwork. It's a teamwork. Okay. So just before we go from families to the tea route, just a few notes about the Brazilian tea. Of course, our Atlantic terroir plus Japanese heritage. It is a blend that it's so good. It works. Our agroecological practice like Yamamaru and organic. It's a correction here. Amaya is also organic too. Not full of their teas, but some teas are organic too. Okay. We have a living culture, families, memory, and of course, always adaptation, always keeping the traditional, but always innovation. We have a lot of craft styles: white, smoked, black, green, oolong, industrial oolong. And we have, of course, a lot of ways to finish, hand, machine, and these bring to us distinct flavors and profiles. So this is This has made our terroir unique, you know? And just a little bit about the tea road, Rota do Chá in Portuguese. This is me and my partners, not in crime, in tea, Yuri and Claudio from Escola de Chá em Baú. This is one of our group. I love them. And what is the tea road? We take the participants and visit the field and factories. Of course, the three families, Amaya, Shimada, and Yamamaru. But Yamamaru is since 2017 because in 2016, only Amaya and Shimada. So yes, we are celebrating 10 years of event in this year. The harvest process stays connected directly with the families and of course to make a lot of network, and like Alicia said, yes, 500 persons directly and 1,000 more online. During the COVID, we made a especially free online Rota do Chá tea route that is available. Of course, if you want to see, it's 100% available in at my Instagram and everything. So after 10 years working with these families, entire in their homes and listen to their stories and retelling actually them to anyone who wants to hear like you today, I can say one thing. Oh, not just only one thing. Oh my gosh, I forgot the video. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The video from Yamamaru. This is very special. Sorry. Now, yes, the Yamamarus. Here. I hope you can see this. I'm not seeing. Are you seeing? Alicia, are you seeing my video?
I can see it, yes. It's not, it wasn't playing, but I could see it.
See. No, no, yes.
Perfect.
And always with music, a lot of joy, a lot of emotion, of course. This is Tomio, and you can see how different, you know. They are 4 days in the tea route. In 4 days, actually 3 days, because one day is together to connecting to each other. But in only 3 days, you can see a very, very different types of tea garden, of the atmosphere and everything. You see Camellia sinensis and everywhere in this place. And we have workshops too, how to process and everything. And this is a video from the milestone, the Yamamaru's factory. This is what's very, very, very beautiful. It's Miriam, me, and everything crying. And everything finished with, of course, dance and music. And maybe you are asking me, what's next? What's next? That is a big question. And this photo, just so you know, this is Amaya, and this our participants planting their own Camellia sinensis in Amaya. So I think that's for me continuous education for both actually, because you need to educate the consumers, you need to educate the producers, you need to education. Of course, hard work and communication as well. And I think that's one thing that others can copy. It's kind of simple actually, because for me it's bring consumers to the field. Not only storytelling, but maybe, I don't know, maybe story doing, let the people feel, plant, harvest, taste, and step in the earth, you know, and training and empowering the next generation, involving in the families, involving schools and young professionals. We have energy right now, but we need more energy in the future. So I want to put here to share with you some insights for, I don't know, maybe to another countries to that we don't expect tea, like Brazil, of course, that we expect coffee, not tea. So the educational tea roots, because our tea root, it's not, of course, we have tourism there, but it's not for this, it's to education, to recognize the value of our producers, to make network, to make business, to make friendship, to write another chapter. For me, every edition of this event, it's a chapter. We are writing together, you know. And this for the producers can be a low cost. Actually, it's another way you can help them and even outsource it like me when I organize it and everything and make the hard work that I love it, but you can outsource it, you know? And of course, tourism and visiting, education, education, education. Okay. And of course, as I'm saying, communication, the social media, for me, that is it plays a big role, you know, consistent, honest communication, ethic communication builds trust. Otherwise, I was thinking when I'm writing this, how I'm here right now with you all, you know? And of course, it's important to record beyond this family, these main families, we now have new projects, new producers, and bring future ahead with a bit of support from the state government, just a bit, and a big support from the tea schools and mainstream media. Finally, I think starting to notice the relevance of the Brazilian tea history beyond mate and botanical infusions. So, to close, I think, oh, we are in time, Melissa. So I want to put three points only to remember in this webinar. When everything begins in 1812, that today we have three principal resilient families keeping this culture alive, Amaya, Shimada, and Yamamaru, and that I'm here and I'm ready to keep building, you know, bridges between East and West and I don't know. I don't know where tea can take it me. So, if I had to summarize what Brazil can offer as an inspiration, it would be, well, of course, it would be a lot of things. But at this time, resilient families, continuous education, honest communication, and I think that we have a webinar here. I'm completely available if you would like to talk more. I think 40 minutes it's a very short time to share profoundly everything. And in my Instagram, you will find a link where you can book a call. So let's talking about because for me, tea is not only about the leaf, like we are saying, it's about people we meet along the way. So thank you. Oh my gosh, did it!
You did it. Oh my
I
gosh.
need to drink some.
Hinata, that was
Wait,
incredibly powerful.
wait, wait. I'm hearing you right now. I'm sorry, listen.
Oh. All good?
Oh, good.
Oh God. Okay, great. That was so powerful. Thank you so much for sharing your passion for Brazilian tea. Absolutely infectious. I'm emotional over here. Really inspiring stuff. Thank you so much for taking us on that journey. I think we can all leave here today with a much greater appreciation of Brazilian tea and just it was an honor to be able to hear about these producers' stories. So thank you so much for sharing. We have some really great questions in the chat if you're
Oh
ready.
my gosh. Oh
Let's
my
do,
gosh. I don't know.
let's I think you do. Let's do this. I'll be here for support. But we have a
Thank
great
you.
question from Kim. Um Kim says, "Do you know if the Brazilian families have contact with the Argentinian producers? Their story sounds similar to that one of my family here in Misiones." if I got that
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, they have. Actually, I have a video. If you, it's, how's the name? I'm sorry, the person?
Kim.
Ken. Ken, if you want to write to me, I can send to you. We have a video from the COVID era that we made with Tomio Makiushi, Milton Amaya, and they are speaking about the relationship to the Argentina. They was flying to Argentina and share some seeds and everything, because in Argentina, well, you have a lot of technology there. So yes, we have a very similar in a very same time, but you know, we don't have the properly technology to go on, so they are different right now. I'm available to talking about this with you.
Yeah, I think I have in my notes here that everyone's going to be getting an email later following the webinar that's going to have social media information as well as information about how more about the Rota do Chá tours as well. So that'll be awesome. We'll have access to all of that. But great question. Next is a question from Nigel. Nigel says, thank you, Hinata, for the great presentation. So good to know how artisan families in Brazil have kept the tea industry alive, producing some excellent premium quality teas. My question is, what were the reasons that the Brazil commodity tea industry collapsed so completely in the 1980s?
Whoa, this is a this is a big one, and actually, this is a sad story, okay? But it was economic, actually. Economic because with the inflation, currency instability made exports unviable. So we was competing with mechanisms that large producers become was it's impossible. Even in England, when in India actually, when was India Britain colony, so that was impossible. But mean in the economic crisis, just because of this.
That's really unfortunate, and it's
Yeah.
also unfortunate that it does seem like it was such a huge, thriving industry to see it
And
collapse
of
so
course,
hardly. So,
until
um,
today, until today is difficult because of this, of course.
do you
To,
think there's going to be a bit of a revival?
Whew, I don't know, because it's like the egg or the chicken, because you need buyers. Oh, okay, we find buyers, but you need to I don't know how to say this. You need to make more volume. So you need time. So what you do first, you have buyers, but you don't have the product. Oh, I found a buyer want to buy 3 or 4 containers from you. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have right now. But if I put all of my energy and this thing right now, if I don't have a buyer, so it's like the egg and the chicken.
Hmm.
It's a thing, like it's a thing. We always with Amaya, we always talking about, because Amaya it's a big player in Brazil tea market. So it 20 years to Lipton and everything. So it's a big thing. Today Amaya it's only in Brazil. Just to know.
All right, well, fingers crossed it starts making its way to other parts of the world so we can all enjoy it.
Of course.
All right. This question is from Sazie. I'm so sorry if I pronounced your name incorrectly, but this is a three-part question. She says, or they say, first of all, I wish you continued success. My question is, what altitude are your tea gardens located at, and whether you use a specific tea clone?
Mhm. My question is, what altitude are you taking art? Oh, I don't have the numbers right now. And yes, of course, in Amaya, for example, I have the shirts. In our shirts, we have the cultivars. It's very, very awesome. Yeah. We have one from Argentina, of course, and we have some. But I can say to you that the answer is Camellia sinensis variety assamica. like a blend of a lot of cultivars that's naturally begin there. So of course we have some clones. We have Yabuquita too. That is very beautiful. They are dancing there with the wind. I love Yabuquita,
That's amazing.
the
So
cultivar.
does Brazil then, does it have its own like tea research institute where they're developing clones that are specific for Brazil's terroir?
Not this like we are researching and studying and everything, but yes, Amaya do. But I'm not so sure that I can say properly about it because I didn't ask to them. So I don't know if I can say this right now, but yes, they have. But they are trying. They are tasting something and taste it and everything. But yes, some just a little bit, but some.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Hinata, would you mind turning the screen share off so that
Oh
people can
no, I'm
see
sorry, I
our
forgot it.
lovely faces? I also didn't know it was on. Thanks, Jay. Um,
Yeah.
excellent. Um, we got this is the three-part question. It's still about the tea plants, which is awesome. What are the most common pests and diseases seen in the gardens in Brazil?
Oh, I forgot the name, but it's a insect. I forgot the
Okay.
name. It's an insect.
Is it pretty severe, the extent of the pests, or is it pretty
No,
minimal?
no, that I say no. I need to confirm, but I say no. We have a lot of problem with the climate.
Uh,
Yeah, a lot of rain and a lot of hot, and this is our big problem actually.
wow, usually I think tea gardens suffer the opposite problem of that. So it's an interesting problem to have, too much water and too much heat.
There is different. There is different. That's why we have a huge volume because when rains and it's our good, you can harvest a lot. So it's very good from one point, you know.
What's the harvesting season?
I'm sorry?
What's the harvesting season? Like when are they, is it a year-round producing?
I really don't know.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It's a season. Season. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I'm
yeah, yeah.
sorry.
No,
No,
sorry.
no. I'm in disease. I'm sorry. I'm done in disease.
I switched it there. That was my
No,
fault.
we
I kind
begin.
of
We
like
begin.
pivoted.
We begin right now in September. We
Oh,
have the first. We have September and until March and April. Depends. It depends
okay.
of the year. It's large.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then third part of this question, is tea, I also had this question, so thank you for asking it. Is tea consumption common in Brazil? Like, and have you tried blending like yerba mate with Camellia sinensis? Um,
Of course. Of course.
of
I
course.
have here, not here. I have here. Which one? I think I have a blend here. Somewhere I have a blend with three of our black teas and toasted yerba mate. It's a it's a great one. It's from a brand that calls Temperos Nana Rosa from Eduardo from Santa Catarina in Brazil. This is a Brazilian breakfast. It is beautiful. It's a very good blend. So we usually drink black tea and black tea and black tea and of course blends. And I need to be honest, we don't use blend black tea and I'm sorry, teas with mate. That is not so usually. But yes, we have. That's not so much.
I'm just like jazzed thinking about the caffeine content of a yerba mate tea blend.
I don't know, baby. Maybe it's just my opinion, okay? That's not from the market. But maybe when we are in the studying tea or working with tea, we always in tea, you know? Because in Brazil we have the market from mate. It's very strong. So maybe we no now let me work with tea and maybe of course some botanical and tisanes as well. But let then yerba mate there and then and put teas here. Maybe, that
Mhm.
is can be.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
We got a question from Jay.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna start saving tomorrow to be able to join a Brazil tea trip with Hinata next year. Who's in? That would be me. And what month is best to go there, and how many ESTA members do we need for you to be able to take all of us? I also have that
I,
question.
I need to stay at November next year.
No.
And how many is that? Maybe five.
Ooh, intimate group. I love that.
I think it's better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A little more one-on-one time with the leaf there. Um, okay. Mena says, what kind of herbs and fruits that suit Brazilian tea blends?
A lot of types. I'm sorry because we have a lot of fruits, but banana, orange, apple, of course, and all of the type of flowers. Of course, we can't because we need to put this the right way. But we have a lot of herbs. So the herbs that you know we have because
Yeah.
yes, again, our climate, our culture. So mango, strawberry, not of course the red ones because we don't have a lot of this, but strawberry and banana and pineapple. Pineapple is a very good one too. And herbs like mint and a lot of
Is that fairly common then to blend the tea with herbs?
very,
Yeah.
very, very, very common, and very appreciated too because like I say in the presentation, we're not usually to drink pure tea, Camellia sinensis. So we usually to drink infusions, and then tea came together to the infusions, not the other way.
Hmm. Excellent. So I see Dan Bolton is raising his hand and he has a very lengthy question. So, Dan, I might try to turn your mic on so that you can ask your question if I can find you here. Um,
Okay, trivia and question, Renata, is this?
um, raised
Oh
hand.
no, it's just to put more information.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find him on the side here so I can allow him to talk, but I
I
can't. Oh,
can read.
right at the allow to talk. Hey, Dan, you there? Oh, he's still on.
All right, guys, can you hear me?
Sure
Yeah,
can.
Lovely presentation, Renata. I really enjoyed that.
thank
So
you.
let's start with a quick trivia question. What are the next three countries after Brazil to become commercial producers of tea? Do you know?
Then Sri Lanka, I think, and Portugal, they are experiment something. And of course, India with Assam and Darjeeling.
It was Sri Lanka in 1824, India in 1834, and Indonesia in 1857.
Uh-huh. Indonesia, I didn't know.
So this is a quick question. Botanicals and tea blended with botanicals are experiencing growth worldwide. Germany's been successful in exporting fruit and floral blended teas to Israel, to Brazil, not all of which are Camellia sinensis. The question is, has matcha become popular, increasing from its foothold in Japan's settlements and in cities like Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro? I hear that matcha is increasingly featured in premium cafes, juice bars, and organic stores.
That's right, actually. Around 1, 2 years, we have a wave, a matcha wave, and a good matcha wave. So that is starting in a coffee shops with the specialty coffee. So matcha goes together with the specialty coffee, and then is huge. And our fairs too, they come together with the nature and the organic food, of course, and the organic drinks. So matcha became an option like a green tea, of course, health and caffeine, and a way to go beside coffee. And it's
I
totally
was
correct.
I was delighted to see that Argentina is now making matcha, and we're seeing different varieties of matcha made in different parts of the world. So thank you for that answer.
Thank you. It's a great honor actually talk to you.
Uh,
So
one
much.
day I'll have you on the podcast and you can share your enthusiasm with
Oh
all of
my
our
God.
listeners.
This is like visit Amaya. Thank you so much, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Uh,
Appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, Alicia.
Very good question. We had a couple questions about matcha, which also, yeah, it's just so trendy right now. It's really transformed the whole economy of tea. It's been crazy.
Yeah. And then why we have this population of Japanese, of course.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Good
and and
point.
and, and we have from Korea. So they are a very good matches there.
Hmm. Well, I'm excited to try some one day. We have time for a couple more questions.
Okay.
So
Of
let's
course.
see. Daniela asks, what attracts Brazilians to specialty tea? Is it the diversity of taste or health considerations or something else?
What attracts Brazilian to especially tea? I think this is my opinion, okay? Uh, of course, with a little of research. This, of course, the nature and the organic foods and organic drinks and healthy part. For other side, culture, because we are a baby. We have only 500 years, and we are a blend. Like I'm saying to you, Alisa, I'm a blend from Portugal and Spain and Italia and Brazil. So we are very, very multicultural in Brazil. So this is maybe the person don't know, but we are usually to the new cultures. So the history, the culture, the ceremony, and the new, we are, I think I can speak for the rest of us. We like to learn and we like to joy, we like to know more about it, the Asia and the Orient and everything. And of course, we have the specialty coffee and especially tea is a special drink. So we have this, it's a new world to explore and we have experience in this part. And of course, when we put this in front of the Japanese one with all of the history and all of this heritage, this is like a perfectly. I don't know if I answered this probably.
I think that that's good. That sounds good. Mostly like health benefits, like the connection to history and culture. I mean, I love that.
You
It's
are listening to me. Oh my God.
no, it's good. I think you did answer the question. I'm gonna consolidate because a couple questions are kind of similar, but it's a lot about there are a few questions about the tea production. Is it mainly exported or like how much of it is drank domestically versus exported to other countries?
Today,
Yeah, like is it the tea that's being produced in Brazil, is it mostly consumed within the country or it's exported to other countries?
today 100% in the country.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but was in the presentation in the second 30 slide, 90% of exportation to export.
Yeah.
We usually not drink because only the Japanese immigrants drink tea actually in the time. And
Yeah.
today, 100% nationally.
Oh, that's interesting. Do you
Yeah,
think
so from to Amaya, for example, they this is a turning point for them too, because in the one point he looked to the market and okay, we can't export anymore because we don't have buyers. So we need to sell in our own country. And how to do this? We don't know to do this because when you have a big industry, when you have book tea, when you have this, this is your work. This is totally different than B2C and B2B. So they are until today exploring the domestic market. So that's why we want to bring the history and our tea root, because more than our consumers, Brazilians know the history, more consumers, and well, Brazil is very, very big. So of course, that one thing in exports and one thing in our own country, but today 100%. This is difficult to them,
yeah.
very difficult actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. I know in most parts of the world too, the RTDs, like bottled teas, are really popular. Are you finding that the case? That's the case in Brazil as well?
Yes, but RTD, it's more imported. We don't produce RTD. Of course, kombucha.
Yeah.
We have a lot of kombuchas, of course, made with our Brazilian tea. That's amazing degree tea from Namaya. It's amazing to make kombucha, but it's not our business until now.
Mhm. Excellent. Well, thank you. I think we'll do one more question. Let's see. Oh, Victoria asks if there's any trends for food and tea pairings in Brazil.
If I'm sorry, Victoria.
If there's any trends for pairing the tea with food.
Yeah, yeah. I'm fine. Victoria Cliffs.
Yeah,
I can find it. Oh, because she's working with gastronomy. Is that it? Is that
I
her?
think that's a different question, but I
No, no,
think
no, no,
also,
no, no, no. It's why I'm reading another one. Yes, of course, of course. But it's not like we have with wine. That's not this top. We just made it with the tea sommeliers and everything. We don't you don't go to, I don't know, a sushi house and everything, and you find, oh, look, they made pairing with tea. No, this happened in our little community. That's not a trend. That's not a big deal. And it's different when you see wine and cheese and beer and everything. That's not, we don't get in there yet.
yeah, I know. I'm rooting for more of that in my life, honestly. Like everywhere should start doing more tea and food pairings for sure. Um, Well, yes. So we should be getting information to be able to connect with you over social media, which would be awesome for anyone that wants to continue this journey. I'm gonna end with a little bit of housekeeping for ESTA. So um, there are a couple ways that you can stay connected, and if you're not already a member of the European Specialty Tea Association, you can sign up. We're committed to sharing knowledge and connecting tea lovers and professionals all over the world. And then, yeah, we can follow Hinata and Rota Docha on social media, and then we'll be getting an email after this with a resource sheet, including links to the Brazilian producers and information about the tours, which I'm excited about. There was lots of thank yous in the chat too. So, Renata, thank you so much for sharing your time and your passion with us. I feel like I've just opened the whole world for South American tea. I'm so excited to know what's going on there, and it's a big deal. And yeah, I'm excited to see what things come of it. But
Thank you so much, Alicia. Thank you all of you. I'm just a little nervous because, like I said, this is very important to me. So I worry about the words that I will put. This is a very important. These families, they have a big place in my heart that I know I'm emotionally, but it's a big deal for me. There's carry of a lot of responsibility. So there's no, let's go see these families and everything. No, I respect this history and their family and everything, because we are talking about not about tea. We're talking about people, and his own histories, and thank you so much. Thank you. I'm enjoying it.
I love it, and you have sung their stories so well. It's just, yeah, you did a beautiful job. And yeah, we had talked about earlier, that's one of our favorite things about tea is how easy and important it is to kind of bridge the gap between producer and consumer, and for us to be able to hear those stories. That's what's important. That's what matters. To see who's actually putting this tea in our hands and allowing us to drink it. It's the most important thing. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh, I will miss that. Right.
All right. Well, I hope everyone around the world has a fantastic evening, afternoon. I think we got a couple people in here from Japan, so hopefully they go back to bed and get some rest. But appreciate everyone for coming out tonight. Thank you all so much, and enjoy the tea.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you. See you.